What's going on, guys? Kyle here. Welcome to episode number 3 of Las Vegas Franchise Mode. As you guys can see, the Chicago Blackhawks ended up winning the Stanley Cup, which isn't a huge surprise at all. And so, yeah, basically today we are going to be doing the draft, some free agent signing, and depending on how long it takes, we might even end up getting into the first games of the next season. So let's get ahead to the draft. It looks like the way we finish, we should be getting from number 15 to 10 is probably most likely where we're going to place in the draft lottery, but let's take a look here. Alright, so as you guys can see, we placed 12th in the draft lottery, which is not too bad because we didn't have that bad of a season. So 12th pick is not something to complain about at all. It should set us up nicely for the draft, so let's get into this draft. Unfortunately, guys, just before we get into the draft, I'm going to show you guys some of the retired players. And unfortunately, this year, Jaromir Jagr retires after leading our team in points. So that's going to be a huge loss that we're going to have to make up for in the draft this year and with some of our signings. He led the team in points. Other notables are Ginla, Hossa, Elias, Ribeiro. Actually, Danny Heatley retires this year. Pronger, Cullen, lots more. Chara retires. So quite a few people retire. But anyways, guys, as I said, we're losing Jagr here, so we got to make up for in the draft. Let's see who we can get. Guys, so here we go. We are in the draft, and I accidentally just simmed it. As you can see, Anaheim just drafted Nolan Patrick. I did not even mean to do that. I didn't realize we were in the draft. So we are sitting with the 12th pick, and honestly, I'm considering trading up. Our team was kind of lacking wingers, and I mean with the 12th pick, I'm sure we can still obviously get a decent player for that, but I'm considering like what else we can get. I'm just going to take a look at our roster right now because with that loss of Jagr, we really need a scorer on our team. Although whoever we draft won't be available for us this year, in the future we're going to need a scorer, so I'm thinking a winger or a forward that we will draft. And I'm taking a look here with the 12th pick. I'm not sure if it's going to do it, so let's see what it's going to take for us to trade up to the 6th pick with the Oilers here. It looks like they're trying to get rid of it actually, so let's see what we can trade them. So let's get rid of Hansel. So we're looking at the Oilers' 6th overall pick, and it looks like they actually have the pick on their trade block. So let's just scroll over to the draft pick, and yes, it actually looks like they're actually wanting to get rid of all their picks. I'm not sure if they're looking for Marty Hansel or not, because I was thinking about getting rid of him because his contract is expiring, but now that I think about it, I don't think they're going to want someone whose contract is about to expire. So let's see who else we have to get rid of. Keep in mind the contracts, because it is the off season and contracts are about to expire. So who do we want to get rid of here? I'm thinking of trading away Mikhail Grigorenko here. He didn't do a whole lot for us this year, but he has some decent trade value to him. That trade bar looks pretty even. Let's just take another look at him. I'm not sure how old he is. 23 with medium potential. Honestly, that's a really good trade. I don't know if I want to do that anymore. Dmitry Orlov. I'd be much more comfortable trading away Dmitry Orlov. Let's check this trade. Trade rejected. Your contract is about to expire with Dmitry Orlov. I knew I was going to run into these problems. Is there anybody else I can deal here? Perot. 29. He has a big salary hit. Years left 5. Okay. Or do we get rid of? Okay, I'd much rather get rid of Kevin Klein here. Let's see if we can trade him away and get this 6th overall pick. And the trade is accepted. Alright, guys. So as you guys just saw, we just upgraded to the 6th overall pick, trading away Kevin Klein and our 12th overall pick, which will really help us out here as we get down to our pick. We're trying to get a forward, most likely a winger, because we just lost We just lost Yager because he retired. So as you can see, Comtois, I've never heard of that guy before. Did not mean to click that. So we got 2 picks made already. Looks like the first one is obviously a medium elite in Nolan Patrick. The second one is also a medium elite. I have not heard of the second guy before. The Bruins taking their pick, Timothy Liljegren, great defenseman, another medium elite player. The Devils pick a medium elite forward. Now the Leafs pick, and then it is our pick. And they pick a high top 6 defenseman, which is not a great pick. And now it's finally our pick here. All right. Here we go, boys. Okay, so taking a look here, I don't see. I guess we gotta sort this. I haven't really done many drafts here, so I'm kind of new to this. I guess I want to go by projected. So there's one top 5 defenseman, which I'm not looking for, and then we have some wingers here, and I'm trying to decide what we want. Nothing elite, of course. A sniper is kind of what we're looking for. Exact. We didn't really take a look at this guy. I think that's part of the issue here. We didn't scout there. And he's a top 10 projection. I think we're going to go with this guy. The other 2 are defensemen, and then the other 2 forwards are power forwards, which is not what we're looking for. It says he's supposed to be a top 9 forward. So let's take a risk on him. I've never heard of this guy before. Let's make the pick. And it looks like it says high top 9 forward. So you know what? That might have been a good pick. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. But anyways, guys, let's sim to our next pick. So unfortunately, our next pick is not until the 4th round, which is very unfortunate. I only have 23 seconds left, so I better make this pick. But unfortunately, our next pick isn't until the 4th round of the draft, which is quite unfortunate. I guess it's because the Sens had traded away their initial pick. So this is what we were left with. Okay, so a right winger. This guy's last name is Bear. That sounds pretty cool. Why don't we just take this guy, because that's a pretty cool name. And a forward, as I said, will be helpful. And it looks like he's going to be high with AHL top 6, sorry, which is not too bad. A 4th round pick isn't anything special. Unfortunately, this draft was a little bit stale because of our picks from 2 to 3 were already traded, as I said. So we only got the picks 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not going to make the pick 6 and 7. I'll make the next pick, and then I'll sim the rest, and we can take a look at who we acquired, and then we'll start signing our players for the off season. And if we have time, we might begin to sim for the next season. So let's make this pick in the 6th round. We didn't even have a 5th round pick, so we were missing a ton of picks, which is quite unfortunate because we need to build this team after our first season not being too amazing. So this pick really doesn't matter. I have never seen that country's flag before. Let's take a look here. Does it say? It does not say. I've never seen that country before. Okay. Let's take a look here. See who this guy is. Whoops. Okay, we are going to go with a defenseman. I think we're going to go with this random guy just because I've never seen this country's flag before. And so why not just take a risk on him? Alright guys, so I'm going to sim the rest of the draft and I will see you then. Guys, so we're fresh out of the draft and into the first day of the re-signing phase. So let's begin to sign our players' contracts along with the rookies we just drafted. Now, I'm not 100% sure how to do this. I haven't really done this before. So let's take a look on how this works. First of all, let's begin with the unsigned, I guess, because that would include our rookies. So there we go. So we have all of the rookies we drafted. This is our first overall pick here, and I am starting to regret this pick because we traded up for this pick And this guy is 56 overall, which is not good whatsoever. So I'm really hoping this guy turns around. That's quite depressing. 56 overall as a first round draft pick. Wow. Okay. Well, we have to sign him because, I mean, we drafted him first overall, but I hope that he turns things around. This was our sixth overall pick, and he's already 65 overall with medium potential, so he's already better than our other guy. I like the looks of this guy. I am going to offer him a contract. He's looking promising. He'll play in the AHL, so hopefully he'll begin to develop. This guy, Wyatt Bear, that's quite a cool name. He's 53 overall with high potential. I don't know if I'm going to offer him a contract. Then we have Nazarov, we did not have a good draft. Okay, so I think I'm going to offer these two Wyatt Bear the last contract, and then the other two guys can just fend for themselves. Overall, though, that was a pretty brutal draft pick, unfortunately. Now let's go to our expiring contracts. I cannot speak. And let's take a look at who we want to keep and who we want to let go. So Ryan Dzingel, we're definitely going to offer him a contract. He's an up-and-coming rookie, so we want to keep him on the team. We're going to offer him 3 years and up his pay a little bit there. Hopefully he will take that. Okay, let's get back to us tonight. Dzingel's been offered a contract. Now Marty Hansel, he was a trade we made last season. He only had 1 year left on his contract. I think we're going to try to keep him. We're going to give him exactly what he wants. I don't know if I want him for 3 years. So 2 years, we're going to lower his asking price. We can't really because he won't accept it, but we'll give him 3.9 for 2 years and see what he says about that. Naring, I don't know who this guy is. Let's take a look. How old is he? Age 30. We're not going to offer him a contract. Wenberg, we are for sure going to be offering a contract. He had a great season. He's asking for 3 years. We'll give him that. Or 2 years, sorry. 4.3 mil. We will give you that in a heartbeat. Next, we have Orlov. Alright guys, why don't I figure out who we're keeping and who we're not, and I will get back to you guys after this, and we'll begin signing free agents. So I'll be back. Guys, so I basically finished up signing all the guys I wanted and released most of the ones I didn't want. So now we're just going to advance a few days to see who accepts and who declines the offers. I think I offered the majority of them quite a bit of money, so they should accept. And there you have it. Wenberg accepts. Johan Larsson. Grigorenko accepts. Orlov accepts. Dzingel accepts. Hansel rejects. I've decided to reject the contract renewal. I want to win. Alright, well I think that is all the money we're going to offer Hansel. I think we're actually going to let him go and we'll sign somebody else during free agency because he's not that great and he costs a lot of money. So I think that's going to be it for him. Costa accepts. Verone. Dreger accepts. Bunch of rookies here. Everyone is accepting their contracts. Perfect. Now we can just sim right into free agency because I'm pretty much done signing contracts. So now we will sim into free agency and take a look at who we can sign here. Let's take a look. And there's the last contract. Max McCormick, Casey Bailey. Just a few more guys. We'll sim right into the free agency and we will begin signing players, guys. So let's see who we can pick up. Okay, guys, so after taking a look at who we signed and who we now have on our roster, I decided that what we need is a really good or at least a decent right winger along with one decent defenseman and then probably a third or second line centerman to fill in the spaces we lost. And so off my initial look, I was looking at Teddy Purcell. It looks like he's not expecting too big of a salary. Although he's not super young, 31 isn't too bad of an age, and he put up about, it looked like 40 points last season, which is not too bad whatsoever. So I think we're going to offer him a contract, and hopefully we'll be able to sign him. That would be a good addition to the second line for our team. We'll offer him a bit of extra money there. And now, as for our third line center, I was looking at Nick Bonino, but he's looking for 4 million, which is quite a bit of money. We scroll down a little bit. Sam Gagner is not a bad pickup at all. What about Eric Hulla? He is unfortunately 26. I might be looking for someone a bit younger than that, so let's just keep scrolling down here. I think we might have to offer Sam Gagner a contract, which is not bad at all to settle with. I'm not complaining about that. Sam Gagner is quite a good player, especially for a third line. He'll fit in really well there. But as I'm looking, I actually see Brian Boyle. I love Brian Boyle, big guy. He can put up some decent numbers, although last year he clearly did not. But he's a decent guy, a big power forward, 6'6". I think we're gonna have to offer him a contract. He's more of a third line guy, and Sam Gagner, we kind of go to waste in the third line. I don't think that's fair. So we'll offer Brian Boyle a 2-year, 1.7 million. And now for the last pickup or signing we're gonna make. We might make one more, but I definitely need to sign a defenseman. Right now, I might have to go with Schuster, which is not a bad pickup at all. Big defenseman, although he's asking for 4 million, so that's kind of what I'm worried about. It's a lot of money. He's 26 years old though. Why don't we offer him a contract? I think he would fit in well on the team. He could probably pair up with Brodian, who's going to be our franchise defenseman. So I think this is a good signing here, and we'll probably look at one more forward. We have a center and a right winger, so why don't we look at a left winger? Marlowe is probably going to retire in a year or two, so there's no use signing him. Lindbergh, 25 years old. Oscar Lindbergh, top 9 forward. Let's take a look at what numbers he's put up. 28 points, 28 points. You know what? That looks like a pretty decent pickup. He's asking for 2.7 million. He's only 25 years old. I think that's a decent pick to make. He's already 82 overall. Let's offer him our contract, and we'll simulate a few days, and we will see how we did with these. You do not have the appropriate draft picks as compensation. So it looks like he's an RFA or whatever, UFA. Okay, he's an RFAT. I'm not sure what that is. Let's just see what happens when I try to sign him again. You can visit the compensation screen. Maybe if I offer him more money, I'm not really sure how this works. See if I offer him 3.4. Okay, so I can't sign him, unfortunately. He looks like a good player to have, but I cannot sign him. So let's take a look at who else there is. Is this Gabriel Bork? 81 overall. Let's take a look at his numbers. 51 points, that's in the AHL. So he hasn't really had a good shot at the NHL. He's been up and down through the minors. He's 26 years old. He's cheap, so why don't we sign him? Our final signing of the free agents, and then we're going to sim a few days and see how we did with these signings. So we're going to advance a few days and see who out of those 4 contract offers accepted and if anyone rejected them. I hope that most of them accepted it. Now we just got a trade offer. That is a very interesting offer. The Nashville Predators offered us a 2018 first-round pick for Henrik Zetterberg. That is quite an interesting offer. Okay, so Zetterberg last year did relatively nothing for us, and we have Wenberg as our number 2 center right now, soon to be our number 1. If we traded Zetterberg and signed another centerman, that could work out quite well for us. Let's take a look if we can add a little bit to the pot here. Okay, this is a very interesting trade here. Maybe if we can grab a pick along with it, like a 2nd round pick along with it. I don't think this is gonna fly, but it's worth trying. Trade rejected. It's almost insulting. I didn't think that would fly, but I want to add a little bit to this deal so I feel a little bit better about doing this trade, because trading away Zetterberg is basically saying that this next season is going to be a write-off. So why don't we add this rookie to the trade? And it's rejected again. Okay. I am very nervous trading away Zetterberg, but that opens up a lot of cap space. I think Zetterberg is 89 overall. let's just take a look here. So Shusko is our #1 prospect, barely any trade value. We have Brodin, who we're building the franchise around, and then down here we've got Wenberg, who would be our #1 center after this trade. We're going to have to make some big signings, but I think we're going to go for this deal. I honestly think in the future this is going to pay off. Hopefully Nashville does not do too well this year, and let's do it. There you go. There goes Henrik Zetterberg. We just received a first overall pick in the 2018 draft, so that was an absolute huge trade, and our offense just went down to 87 from 88, unfortunately. So let's advance and see who accepted our offers, and we better have them accept them because we just traded away our #1 center. Okay, still, this is the third day in, and Brian Boyle has accepted our offer, which makes me feel a little bit better because he'll be now our #2 center right now. Schuster accepted, Teddy Purcell accepted, and Bork accepted. So they all accepted. Now let's go back to the free agent board, and we're going to have to look at a #2 center now, which I did not think about being in this position at all. I did not expect to receive a trade offer, but we're put in this position. We're going to have to sign a #2 or even #1 overall centerman. So it looks like we're going to have to sign maybe Derek Roy here. Give Derek Roy a second chance. He used to be a stud in the NHL. We're going to offer him a contract. He's going to be our third-line centerman. We'll probably move Brian Boyle up to the second line, and this season might not go too well, or we might end up trading for another center. I'm not too sure, honestly. Day 1 hasn't said anything. Day 2 still hasn't said anything. We're still waiting for Derek Roy, and he accepts the offer. All right, that is good to hear, guys. So we have Derek Roy signed. Now let's keep Salmon ahead, and then we will check out what our lineup's going to look for this season. So this is going to wrap up quite a long video, but basically we've made it to the next season. We're at the preseason. We're not going to sim any games this episode, but I'll show you guys what lines we're finishing this long episode with. We've got Perreault, Wenberg, and Silverberg on our first line. You know, a young line that's promising. Our second line is Matt Reed, Derek Roy, Teddy Purcell, and third line, Grigorenko, Roy, Grabner, Buma, Dzingel, and Reeves. I think I'm actually going to move Grigorenko onto the second or even the first line because he's quite a good player with good potential. He's going to be one of our first line guys, and I want to see him and Wenberg play together. So overall, our forwards have unfortunately got a lot worse than last year. As you guys saw earlier, Yager retired, and then we also traded Zetterberg for first overall pick. So we're kind of looking to build in the future. So this season, I don't expect to do well. I don't really want to do that well because I want to be able to have a good pick this year. So I'm hoping we don't do too well. I don't think we will with this team. Now looking at defense, we have Jay Brodin, who's like the face of our defense, face of the franchise. 86 overall with some more potential, so we could get better, hopefully. We've got Dmitry Orlov. We got Schuster, who we signed at free agency, Sabia, Davidson, and Costa, who we're going to look to upgrade because he's not too good. He should be in the AHL, but I don't know why. I guess we don't have enough good NHL defensemen, so he's on our team. Now we're just going to take a quick look at the AHL before we wrap up this video because we have some promising players in the AHL. Johan Larsson, 80 overall in the AHL. We have Nick Paul, 80 overall, who's only 22 years old. So our AHL team is not doing quite well, but they look like they're going to be pretty dangerous this year. So hopefully they go somewhere, and hopefully the NHL team, the Las Vegas Knights, don't do well. But anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching. This is going to wrap up a very long video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.